Hey, it's Thursday. After the bell, we're just taking a quick look at the S&P 500 as we get ready to trade Friday. Please remember that next week is monthly OPEX, so you have two different options to choose from for Friday expiration of next week. And most of what I'm quoting right now is for the monthly, which only trades through Thursday's close next week. There's an article in the blog explaining all about week 3 OPEX if you're not familiar with one of today's high. And yesterday wound up being a reversal day where we did sort of an outside reversal on the previous day's candle, but we were still inside this really bad down day that we had on Monday. So we gapped up open over yesterday's high and quickly traded out of Monday's range, and now we are, strongly sort of standing up above that range. We took out the 100-day simple moving average. We moved above this low that we had set last Friday. And then we touched on the 50-day simple moving average and backed off from there. And we started testing this 29.25 level. This is the halfway back for the whole quarter, the range from this low that we set this week back to the all-time high. And we tested it and tested it. We couldn't break below it. If we had broken below it, our halfway back on the day just happened to be right here in line with this Friday low from last week. So I think we would have tested that and maybe bounced off that. And if that had broken, then we probably would have given this whole thing back on the day. But they tested and held this line here at 29.25. So at this 29.25 level showed that it was an important level today. They're supporting it there. So tomorrow, if anything happens, you want to make sure and see that 29.25 level hold. Another thing that happened today was this. We were bouncing off of this 18 handle on VIX futures, and finally at the end of the day, around 3:30 Eastern time, we finally broke down through this 18 handle on the VIX futures, and that's when we made that move back above the 50-day simple moving average and into the close. We closed above it. Now we're closed right in here in between the 10 and the 50-day simple moving average. If we had not had a strong day today, this was set to cost me a while. I've gone over this again and again. This is like one of the worst scenarios you can see happen on a chart. It's bad enough when the 10-day crosses down through the 20-day, but when they allow it to cross down through the 50-day, that's really setting off a bad sell signal. Something that will come in tomorrow and will gap up open above this next gap here that exists between last Thursday and Wednesday. That gap would fill at 29.53 and change. So I kind of anticipate a gap up open above this whole gap. That's probably going to flatten out this line. If it doesn't, even if this is coming down and sort of like kissing with the 50-day simple moving average, another follow-through day tomorrow will flatten that line out and get it turning up for next week. Now, that doesn't mean that we are all out of the woods. It just means that they are going along and maybe driving the market up to get the puts cheaper again before we get knocked back down. Maybe for monthly OPEX, they drove us down here so that they could get the calls cheaper, and we're going to go up, and then we're going to have monthly OPEX back above 3,000 next week, whatever. But in the meantime, while we're waiting on that to unfold, the important thing is that we maintain above the 50-day simple moving average. We open strong tomorrow and stay above the 10-day and take out this next gap up here. And then, if that all plays out early in the day, I think they're probably just going to keep driving us on, and maybe we're going to get a close back above the 20-day simple moving average. And this close back here that happened on the 31st, on July 31st, is what started this whole thing in motion. When we dropped down through the 20-day simple moving average and closed down below it, that's the way that July ended, and all of August we have spent below the 20-day simple moving average. So now we're 2 weeks in, getting ready to go to August week 3 next week. It would be interesting if we would close back above the 20-day simple moving average tomorrow. Okay, so that's your update, and I hope this helped you out and gave you a good start to the day. See you in the morning.